Hi there. Hope you're doing well today, having an amazing day, and living life and learning because that's what we're here to do. We're here to learn. Some people call this school. I don't really like school. So I just learn my lessons and I move on. Whereas organized school here, I don't know where you're from, but here in the US, it seems like it goes on forever and you don't really learn too much, at least not how to be productive people. So, real school, if you're an evolved being that came down here into the material realm, you are understanding, or hopefully understanding, that you're here to heal some generational stuff, some universal stuff, learn these lessons and move through them as quick as you can. I mean, it's a process, not going to lie. But once you get to a certain level and you realize, wait a minute, I'm in control of this, you move through them pretty quickly. But you gotta do the work first and understand the process first before you get to that point where you can move through these lessons quicker. And then they don't become lessons anymore. They actually become kind of fun. For example, I did a video on you're an angel. If you're an angel energy. Let me say that. And it's an angel energy because you don't see me sprouting my wings yet, although they're there in energy. They haven't materialized. But I know the highest level of me, my greater self. She's not a higher self, my greater self, who is bigger than me, who has more memory than me, who has more emotions than me, who has more experiences than me, more wisdom than me as in Rebecca. She is a part of me. She created me. She created me, the conscious mind, to move the energy in order to heal the stuff that she was unable to heal. Yes, that's right. The angels that created all of this in their minds, because the angels are these subconscious minds. They created all of it, starting in the ethers. They took the God energy into themselves. Then the mind, the subconscious mind, had a thought. That thought became a belief, and then they added emotion to it, which is the astral realm, and then that created the material realm. The truth is that you want to know where the dysfunction and all the problems and issues resides, where it started there. It started in the ethereal realm, in the angelic realm. They've been at war, been at battle for eons, for a very long time, countless cycles. That's why this predator-prey cycle has been going on forever, it seems like. Most of you don't probably know that as a human, but your greater self understands. The fallen angels, which are still angels, which are the opposite of the heavenly angels, the negative, positive, they're still angels. They just disconnected themselves from God, decided they were going to do it on their own. They rebelled. But the thing is that they still created and manifested all this shit. That's where all this shit came from, all this dysfunction and problems. Those of us that descended and are still connected to Source, to God, in our angelic form, we're not one of the fallens. We came here to help our brothers and sisters. And then, yes, help humanity. That is a part of us, because the angels created all of this, again. And humans are part of the soul, which is, the soul was created by the angel, if you want to look at the hierarchy. The point is that if you are someone like myself, who you are starting, I've known this for a very long time, but if you're starting to wake up and understand this reality that you were put into extremely toxic, abusive, dysfunctional situations from the start, your family. My family was extremely abusive towards me, extremely violent, on all levels of abuse. That's because my greater self went through that. And she needed me because I'm a carbon copy, a mirror. She created those situations for me so that I could heal those. Is it difficult? Yes, because my human side gets very emotional about it. Imagine the emotions then if you ramp that up to tapping into your greater self's emotions, then it gets really intense and almost difficult. Though in those times, I always ask God for help. God, I need your help to get through this. This is more than I can take right now. And one of the things that just recently I've been working through, and some of you may be working through, is the bully attack energy, the survival energy, the energy, especially as the feminine, where, because this is a masculine dominated society, and it started back in the days of Egypt. I just went through some time traveling and found the root of where this patriarchal society mindset started. It started in Egypt. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but the point is that the masculine back then in Egypt, who took on a form just like we have the form today, this is one of the fallen angels, took on the form and took from his feminine counterpart, his soulmate. They mated, they had a son, and then he actually, the soulmate, took her energy, siphoned it, and then gave it to other feminines, and then he became the ruler of this planet. This is why you have this man-driven, masculine-driven society. It started there. And so as the feminine, it kind of sucks because you have to live these experiences. That's why you're living them. I've heard some comments, and thank you all for the comments. I really appreciate that, and I love you. Understand that these experiences that you are living them because your greater self needs you to heal this. They need you to understand it, and they need you to change it. Because you're the conscious mind, you're the power that moves the energy. The subconscious mind is pure thought. It's just pure energy. Your conscious mind is the lower vibrational mind, the primal mind that moves all of this, that changes all of it. It needs to be changed here in the material realm. And it's difficult because this responsibility kind of falls on the feminine to not only understand it, but heal it, but also to try to attempt to get her counterpart to understand what they did as well and get them on board and bring them back home. Remember the truth about who they are. They're an angel. They're God's angel, part of God. And to reconnect, to do that, you have to understand that you have to disconnect from them. Because these toxic, narcissistic energies that are trying to continue to connect to you and siphon from you, they're doing that because, number one, you're letting them, because they created a trauma bond, which means they created trauma with you, in you at some level of you. That's not your responsibility. You need to give that trauma back to them, because in order for them to truly understand and heal and change, they have to understand what they've done. That's karma. You have to give them back their karma. You have to give them back what they did. That's their responsibility. It's not your bag to carry. Dump it. Get rid of it. Then you need to get away from them, and it'll give them the space that they need to do their own healing while you're doing your own healing. And your own healing is pulling your power back, pulling your energy, your gifts, your talents, all those things that those energies stole and siphoned from you. Pull those back into you and start creating your existence from this new reality, this new idealism, if you will, of you are in control. You are in control of your body, your emotions, your mind, and your connection to God, your greater self. That no one and no thing has any right whatsoever to impede on that at any level, because universal law trumps human law. And universal law says, I have the right to exist without you impeding on my free will. I have free will. God gave me free will. And your manipulation tactics, your lies, your love bombing that you used to hurt me, harm me, and then dump your crap on me, you can't do that. That's gaming the system. And you give it back. You have to give that energy back. For example, for me, I started to realize the feminines, how the feminine has been put into this survival mode, not only trying to defend and defend herself and survive here and take care of her children, but also now she's being attacked or competition. Feminines are competing against each other. We are the worst to each other. Jealousy, envy, takers. These are the energies that I'm dealing with right now, which what I'm doing is cutting them out and saying, no, I don't want to play that game anymore. I am not going to play this survival game. I don't have to compete for shit. I don't play by your rules or your laws. You're not going to treat me like that. But I have to do that in the material plane. I had to step up to these energies and say, no, enough is enough. I'm not doing this. I'm going in a different direction. That's timeline jumping. I recognize something that happened a long time ago that my greater self wanted me to fix here in the material. I found the original moment that it happened, use this experience here in the material plane to fix it and choose something different. And now that I've recognized, so once you recognize something and you see it for the truth it is, it dissolves. The lie, the illusion dissolves. Then from that point, I jumped myself into a new timeline, a new pathway where I'm aligned with, or I'm encircled or surrounded by feminine energies that are positive, uplifting, and supportive. The same with masculine. I'm surrounded by masculine energies that give love to me. I completely switched my timeline, completely switched everything in my life because I had finally closed the cycle with this old masculine back in the days of Egypt that was coming now, reincarnated now, that was attempting to enslave me into the old system of predator prey, of being less than. And then what the masculine did was use the energy that he was siphoning off of me for these other, he was sleeping with these other feminines, and then having those feminines attack me. So it was a bully attack. You probably experienced this. It was I forget what your gang stalk attack. There's a bunch of them. And so I just ended it. I was like, no, you're not doing that to me anymore. You have no power over me. It takes all of you to attack me. There's only one me. So therefore, I know I hold the power, not you. And I started changing it and shifting it, and it switched my timeline. That's what you're here for, Earth angels. Actually, angels that are in Earth, in human bodies. That is what you're here to do. You're here to change those moments that are happening now, but there is no time because it actually, the original issue occurred long before it did here in this timeline. So I had to go back, heal it, and now it's done here, and now we move on. That's your role, that's your goal, that's your mission. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, leave me a comment or message and I'll expand, or I can do a live probably this weekend. I'll have to check my schedule. And I'll answer some questions. We'll work through some energy. We can go back into time. We can go back and we can start healing some of this stuff for yourself as well. All right. I love you. Have a great day. Bye.